us and the Cuban people.
Was it he who wrote the statement on behalf of the Friday of this execution?
I think that was Ramón.
That was wrong.
I missed that. Is that on one of the sites?
Yeah, when Cuban Five released a statement on legal lynching of Troy Davis, it is on their, I think it's on both websites I described. It was reprinted in the Bulletin. It got out fairly broadly. And it's also an example of some of the political work they carry out in prison. You got to keep in mind that 5 of them are not in the same prison; they're all in different prisons. It's part of the punishment. You think back on other political cases where you had your fellow comrades or whatever with you, and think about the different cases. Then it's another way in which they try to break and isolation. You can tell from the caliber of who they are that they have done well in the prisons they've been in. One very good example, I think, is one of the last things in this book with the Cuban Five. Describes how Antonio Guerrero became an artist in prison, and he learned it from his fellow prisoners, including from one prisoner who was black. You know, it's very segregated in prisons. Antonio had no problem. His prison mate being a black guy who taught him how to paint. So it's a very good example of this.
Just want to say, getting their sentences reduced, which they are appealing to get more, because it's still essentially a life sentence for the two of them, Antonio and Ramon, but it got them out of the maximum security anyway. So at least there won't be so many lockdowns, and if the relatives come, they most likely won't have a lockdown like that, because now they're in I believe medium security now. So that's a big help to them.
I thought it was interesting. There was quite a bit of buzz when Bill Richardson went to Cuba on behalf of Alan Gross. And it's apparent there's a fairly good possibility that an offer was made. Alan Gross for the right to René to return to Cuba. Fairly good evidence that may well have been a rather audacious bargain that may have been offered by the United States. And I think it's interesting that that was not acceptable to the Cuban government. And I'm sure that even there probably was some measure of consultation with René, that while that obviously would have been a victory, that the trade of Cuban sovereignty for having the right to try and convict Alan Gross, that trade was not doable. I don't think it's ruled out that the Cuban government would make a trade. Obviously, the Bay of Pigs prisoners were traded for medical supplies 40 years ago, but it would clearly have to be freedom. It would have to be some sort of situation regarding not just something that can be, while it's difficult, can be managed for René, but actual freedom for one of the Cuban Five would actually come about between the two sides. So I thought that was interesting in terms of what Cuba was not ready to do in terms of granting control over its sovereignty.
I was just gonna ask what, in terms of violation of their rights, and I don't know on the different times that different ones of the Cuban Five have been thrown into solitary confinement to hold the box. On what basis did they, decide to do this? This does happen in the prisons a lot, and I guess they can just do it without any kind of, and I don't know what kind of fights there have been around them being able to do that. I know it's a big discussion going on in the U.S. About the solitary confinement stuff in general with the Iranians, with the people who got put in Iranian prisons and got put in solitary confinement, and now they're questioning, well, what's happening in the U.S. So probably not what the U.S. want to hear about, but I don't know. I know one of the times that I forget who it was in that story about one that was in the Guerrero, like the whole, where he was suffering from a medical condition and he was in there anyway. It took a real campaign to get him out, the whole, and how the U.S. so-called justice, they're already framed up and put in there, and then, that kind of treatment, 13 months in solitary confinement, how they were able to justify being able to, they just say it's not qualified, they're able to justify doing it again and again.
Yeah, the solitary confinement, the amount of time they serve, there's a lot of different sides to it. Like 17 months is a very long time. The U.S. government, it's the government or the military, said it's a form of torture. They're thinking about their soldiers. It's more than 3 months. Don't quote me on that. I know it's a lot less. Something like that. 3 months. And yeah, it's one of the most brutal things that can happen to a human being. Under solitary, we're social beings. And you read about what they did to Gerardo. It's reflected a little bit in this literature, but there's also a interview that was done with Gerardo by Saul Landau a couple of years ago. It was in originally in Regressive magazine, is it? And it was reprinted in different places, reprinted in, I know, in the military newspaper. And he describes what happened to him. I think it was out of Lompoc, California, where he was put in the box, which is actually worse than being in solitary. It's actually underneath it. He had no windows, he had lights on all the time. He was just in his underwear. And he describes the conditions. There was a problem with the plumbing, so they had like shit coming down the walls. He describes the whole thing. And he was in an area where, there's people who've gone crazy. You can imagine being somewhere screaming and yelling and just lost it. So these are the kind of conditions that Cuban Five put in. The thing you referred to was not this summer, but the summer before. They put Gerardo in solitary in California. We went on a big campaign to get him out of solitary. It had a real impact when we got him out after a while. One thing to keep in mind too, a lot of times the solitary is